Can you see me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, so maybe there's just a little bit delay. Okay, so I probably should be talking. I should be talking the whole time to make sure that you can hear me, see and hear you. Okay, good, you guys. I don't know if you heard that whole first part. Okay, hi everyone. Okay, so, gosh, I don't even know where to start. So just turn up your volume. I don't have any volume control here. It's all on your end. I'm in a program, so the volume should be under your control. Okay, so I want to go over the questions. I had been sent a couple questions before, and I want to answer those. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Okay, I'm going to repeat it all. Okay, so, and if it happens to that it's on this, I'll cut it out. So I'm going to start with a common question that I get. Okay, a common question that I get is that when they're making pants, this is for pants now, that they have to have a bigger waist size and a smaller leg. So today what we did is I took a pair of jeans, these is Lana jeans, number 3300, and we went from a size 14 waist to a size 10 leg. All right, so I'm going to show you some pictures of what we did. So let's go to the first one, and I hope you can. Okay, can you hear me now? I knew when the picture came on. Okay, so because I can't get the sound and the photos working at the same time, okay, because I don't know how to get the photos and the sound at the same time. I'm going to show you the picture and then I'll explain what you're going to see. Okay? Okay, so first off, you're going to see a pant where we're going, when you go to a smaller leg, we're going 2 sizes down to a smaller leg. You're going to lay the French curve on the side seam, and you're going to keep the waist where it is, and you're going to move in the bottom of the French curve. Okay, so with that photo, all that is a side seam of a pant, and you're going to move in the bottom. I want you to look and see where this bottom arrow is. I'm sure there's a way to split the screen. I just don't know how, you guys. Okay. Okay, does anybody have questions on that? That's how we go from a larger thigh, a larger tummy, hip, whatever you want to call it, to a smaller leg. And that's extremely effective. Today in class, we first started with the jean. We fixed the jean. We went 2 sizes down to the leg. She made up another pair, and she was jumping all over the room. She was just really, really happy, and it turned out really, really nice. It really looked good on her. And with her legs being so much smaller, she looked so much thinner. So it's just a really great, easy way to do that, and hopefully you've got it. Okay, so now let me read this next question. How do you correct a rounded back and forward shoulder and sleeves, such as Raglan's kimono? Also, how do you go from size 2 body to a size 3 sleeve? Okay, so let's answer the first question. The raglan sleeve has the top, it's just like a regular sleeve that the fullest part of the sleeve is at the top. So what I would recommend is, I don't have pictures, but you could slash the front and close it up and slash the back and open it. So you're giving more to the back. So slash the back, open it. In other words, you're moving the very fullness of the sleeve forward is what you're doing. And that will help. Okay? And then how do you go from a size 2 body to a size 3 sleeve? Okay, so you guys, it's the same thing. Just think this through. And if you've got, if your sleeve is smaller, then that line needs to be smaller that you're connecting it to. And the way to make it smaller is to raise the side seam up and then connect it. And that will make that armhole opening smaller so that the smaller sleeve can go in there. Okay, very easy to do. Just raise that side seam up. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay. All right. Would the starting size be according to the hip or waist? You typically in pants, the hip is the place that you should start. You should go up or down for the waist, and you should go up or down for the leg. But it's just like the bodice where the bust is the winner, the full hip is the winner when it comes to pants. Everything else is easier to adjust, so you want to pick the full hip. That was a good question, by the way. Okay. I understand, but that's because I have to do that on my pants too. You do, Deborah. You're right. You do. You're a prime example of someone who has these little bitty legs, and the pant legs that are in the pattern are just going to swallow you up. And so I know we've talked about how you do that, but I wanted everyone to see that because literally a lot of you just have to even go down a size. And it's surprising if you will take your ready-to-wear pants and measure them to see what you like or what you're wearing, measure them at the thigh. That will help you determine how many sizes to go down. On the pants pattern, was the bottom arrow on the side seam at the crotch line? It was. Let's go back to it for just a minute so you can see. Okay, now another question I got sent ahead of time that I want to answer is about pants and fusible interfacing. We're getting into spring, and spring has a lot of linen, cotton, just lightweight pants. And some people have felt fabric and they've said, gee, this is just too lightweight. And I've said, no, it's not. It's perfect. And if you don't like it, fuse it. And so they've said to me, fuse it. What do I do? I mean, what's the point of that? And so the point is that you can take a lighter weight, sorry, I'm doing two things at one time. You can take a lighter weight pant and fuse it just like you can any fabric, and it will give it greater drape. So we can talk, the 3 reasons for fusible are to retard wrinkling, stabilize something loosely woven, or to add body. So if I have a cotton pair of pants and I want to make them a little more drapey, corduroy is a good example. I might want to make it a little more drapey. I could add fusible. Now, I would take a corduroy and I would make a jean out of it, like a 3300. So I wouldn't use fusible on that. But if I wanted to make it into a dress pant and I wanted it to be dressier, then I would maybe use a fusible so that it would give it better drape. Okay, hopefully that helps. Okay, so that was a question on fusible. I hope everybody understands that. Work with fusible. It's great stuff. The more you learn about it, the more you'll like it. And I always say, if in doubt, use fusible. Okay. In a recent Fit to Stitch, you featured several industrial sewing machines. What was the name of the company in Dallas these machines come from? It's called Sonny's Sewing Machine. Now, just an FYI, you guys, I'm working on getting you, I'm going to sell these machines. They are I thought I'd have it ready for tomorrow, but I do not. Next week, we'll have it ready. It is a machine that has 1 lower looper and 2 straight needles. And it is what's done on, it's all of your hems. All of you, it's called a cover stitch. Now let me look and see what it's called. Hang on before I say that. It's called, sorry, one second. I just want to check because they sent me back a bunch of emails today, but I just didn't get the name of it. It's called the bottom cover stitcher, but it's not a cover stitcher like what we know, where you have to do all that and then lay it out. Anyway, it's really amazing. It's really great. I'm working on it, and I'll have it for you shortly. It's a great machine. And I think it's worthwhile for us to have this little industrial machine. That's why I'm working on it. And I'm working on the price too, so just so you know. On pattern 123, I have a question about the placement of front and back wrap. Do I follow the grain line on the pattern? And just FYI, I did answer this private email privately, but I'll answer it publicly because somebody else might have the same question. That garment 123 is a knit, and knits don't need grain. Now, the only reason we have to put a grain on there is because that we're making the pattern and grading in a software program that's an apparel software program. It's called Gerber. Gerber forces you to put a grain line. You can't get a pattern piece out of that software without it slapping a grain line on there. And then once we can't delete it once it's on there. So the grain line is on there. We can't do anything about it. But how you place that piece, the two overlays is what she's talking about. On 1, 2, 3, she's talking about the back overlay and the front overlay, because the grain line on the pattern and the grain line on the positioning of the fabric is two different ways. And so she's asking which way is right. Neither way is right or neither way is wrong. It doesn't make a difference. Just kind of get it onto your fabric and get it on however it will lay on, and it is correct, because knits do not have a grain, and that overlay, it doesn't matter how it goes on. Okay? Okay. Hopefully that helps. Deborah, will the pre-sale donations for Series 12 be coming up soon? Yes, so we've locked in everything's locked in with Series 12. We're very excited about Series 12. Series 12, I can just talk about it briefly. University of North Texas is among the top 10 fashion schools in the country. Stanley Marcus, years ago, Stanley Marcus of Neiman Marcus started a fashion collection there. He started by donating designer goods. They have one of the largest collections of designer clothing, Chanel, you name it, of the country. They have over 20,000 pieces. We're talking a rival with New York. I mean, this is extraordinary. I went to them 4 years ago and asked them if I could use it. They said no. I went to them 3 years ago. They said no. I went to them 2 years ago. They said no. I went to them last September, and they have said yes. And the gal who is the curator of the collection is going to be on the show. She's amazing. She's always been amazing, but I just couldn't get in. I just couldn't get them to say yes. But they are on board. They're not financially backing the show, but they're backing the show with support of their educators and the collection itself. So I am thrilled over Series 12. We've worked really hard. We're coming a long way, little tiny baby steps, but we're getting some real support and some real credibility from the community, and it's really, really exciting. So we will start that, but we don't want to start anything. The 8/22, the Sew Along Tomorrow, will kind of start, a little bit of a fundraiser, but we'll probably start in late May. It's probably when we'll start. Can't wait to see the new machine. I know, me neither. I can't wait to have them to you. So this series, this Series 12, you guys, I'm just so excited to share it with you, because all of you will be able to kind of get a peek into this collection. And I know you don't know all these terms, but there's something we call BRoll, and BRoll is when we go to the actual place and we film at the actual place. We will take BRoll because I want you to see the magnanimous amount of clothing from designers that is there, and you name it, Todd Old, you name it, the designer, and that's in that collection, because Stanley Marcus made sure that collection was solid. He really wanted Dallas to be on the map as a fashion center, and University of North Texas is our fashion school. University of North Texas has also done some, I'm talking too much, but they've also done some collaboration with SMU, and they've done a whole recyclable experiment and research and all that stuff, and we're getting to see all of that. So that also is going to be on the series, and I'm excited about that. Okay, it's just exciting. Why does a dress form have a loop on the wrist? Oh, a dress form arm. It's to hang. That's how it attaches. You put it over the top of the dress form, and it just hangs in place. So you can't if a dress form has arms, you can't get the garment on. So you put the garment on without the arm, and then you push the arm down into the arm of the garment, and the loop goes over the neck. Okay? Are they 3 or 4 thread? So this machine that I'm talking about is a 3 thread, but it's 2 needles and only 1 looper. There's only 1 looper at the bottom. Okay? Okay. How much are the seam allowances? No, how much are the seam allowances you use in your new patterns in the classic sweater knit? The seam allowances are always 3/8. In all of silhouette patterns, the seam allowances are always 3/8. The 195, the French dart, has 3/8 in seam allowances. Those are cut lines, not stitch lines. The stitch lines would be 3/8 inside, and then it tapers to nothing at the dart, at the bust line. The wrist, not the top of the arm. Oh, a loop at the wrist? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just to secure something down, but I don't know. Okay. Sounds fantastic. I was reading about the collection recently. You know, this collection at University of North Texas is not open to the public. It's and again, you're talking 20,000 pieces. That's sizable. That is really sizable. In fact, it's almost difficult to manage. It's so sizable. And obviously donations are coming in all the time. And a lot of the donations are actually coming from not Stanley Marcus clearly anymore because he's passed away, but from people who have owned these pieces, and because they're not sure what to do with them, they've donated them to the university. So it's incredible. It's an incredible incredible resource. Okay, so we're at 8:30. Is there anything I can answer for you quickly? I wanted you to see the pants, and I'm just going to put those up again just briefly. How you're going to blend a larger hip size into a smaller leg. Okay? What is the machine used for? Anything you're going to hem for a knit. So your yoga pants, leggings, your sleeves, your neckline, anything that's going to be hemmed, when you see it in a store, it's done on this type of machine. 2 top threads. Like now, if you wanted to do 2 top threads, you have to actually stitch twice, or you have to use a double needle. But you still have to do it twice. You have to serge the edge and then do a twin needle. Or you have to do 2 times around to get it to duplicate what it looks like in the store. Okay? So that's what it's for. Okay. Have some silhouette stretch wovens. What silhouette patterns were based on stretch wovens, aside from Kumoto's? The stretch woven is 34, 3218, 34, 3218, I don't remember. So let me just say that there's, and then you can figure this out. There's 3200, which is Sally's pant. And then there's 3400, which is the yoga pant. So Sally's pant is the woven, 3400 is the knit. Any numbers that are 32, a little bit higher, are a base off of Sally's, but one's a stretch woven. Anything off 3400 is off the yoga pant, but is a stretch woven. So that's how the numbering goes. Oh, Nadine, you're so sweet. Oh, good. I know. Isn't it wonderful to sew? It's wonderful to sew. Sewing is just getting more and more popular. You know, we're really into this kind of do our own, self-sufficiency. We're really into self-sufficiency. I have planted peach trees and lemon trees and orange trees and avocado trees in my backyard. It's really fun to go out and pick my own peaches. And so I think this whole self-sufficiency is caught on all throughout the country, to have a little self-sufficiency. And sewing for ourselves has come right into that same umbrella. It's not considered for poor people or old. It's considered to be self-sufficient. And I'm just so grateful to be at the right place at the right time. And this is a lot of fun. And for the next, I think 5-10 years, it's really going to be a lot of fun. So we're ahead of the game, you guys. We know it all. Okay. All right. So we will sign off to not keep your time. Y'all know that I love you to death, and we'll see you tomorrow. Our sew along at 4 o'clock tomorrow is going to happen. So we'll see you there. Get your pattern 822. We've we just keep putting up knits. We've got a big shipment coming in from New York tomorrow, and I'll just keep putting up knits. So those knits are invaluable and they're beautiful. All right. All right, later. Bye.